What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Cryptos. My name is Dom, and today I'm going to be making one of my favorite drinks from Starbucks, the brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso, using my homemade brown sugar sauce. Let's get started. So I'm really excited for today's video because I'm going to be making for you all one of my Starbucks staples. It's one of the things I order pretty regularly, other than my iced vanilla latte, and then during the fall season I'll get the pumpkin spice latte. I really also enjoy the brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso, which all you're gonna need for that is espresso, your brown sugar sauce, and oat milk, and then obviously something to shake up your espresso in, so I'm using a cocktail shaker. And then I have my light brown sugar. You can either use light brown sugar or dark brown sugar. I like how the light brown tastes a little bit better, so I'm using the light brown sugar. And then my secret ingredient is some kosher salt. I'm just gonna add a pinch of that into my brown sugar sauce. And then obviously I'm using blonde espresso, the Starbucks roast, and I'm gonna use 2 shots today. So I'll make the brown sugar sauce first, and then I'll brew my 2 shots using my Nespresso. And then I'll shake up the sauce with the espresso and ice together. And then I'll pour that into a glass and pour the oat milk on top. And that's the brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso. So let's get started with the brown sugar sauce. Okay, so I have my 1 cup of tightly packed light brown sugar here, and I'm gonna put this into my pan. Just like that. And then I'm also gonna use equal parts water. So I have 1 cup of water that I'm just gonna pour over it. Like that. And then I'm gonna use just a little bit of a pinch of the kosher salt. I'm just gonna kind of go like that. Don't be shy with the salt. And then that's all you need to make the sauce. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stir this together and bring it to a boil. And then I'm gonna put it into a glass jar and it'll be ready for me to mix with my espresso. So I'm gonna go do that and then I'll be right back. Okay, so my brown sugar sauce finished boiling, and I have it just in this glass mason jar here. And while that's kind of cooling off, I'm gonna pour my espresso shots. So I'm gonna use 2 of these Starbucks blonde roast shots. I'm gonna put the first one in here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start this first shot. There it goes. Okay. So I'm gonna let this shot pour, and then I'll get my second one ready, and I'll go grab my oat milk so everything can be set up so I can mix everything together in the shaker. Okay, so the first shot just finished, and I grabbed my oat milk from the fridge. First, I'm gonna pour my second shot. So I'm using the same one, the Starbucks blonde roast. And usually at Starbucks, if you order the brown sugar shaken espresso, they'll use 1 more extra shot. So for a venti, they'll use 3 shots instead of 2. Or no, they'll use 4 shots instead of 3 for ice. Or for a grande, they'll use 3 shots instead of 2. So the brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso is always a little bit stronger because they use more coffee in it. But I'm gonna let this one finish brewing, and then I'll come back with my ice, and then I'll measure everything out to shake it up. Okay, so I poured the glass in my ice, or the ice in my glass here, and then the ice in my shaker, and then my second shot finished pouring. So all I'm gonna do is pour the espresso over the ice right here. And then I'm gonna measure out 2 tablespoons of my brown sugar syrup. So that's 1, 2, and I'll use just a tiny bit more for good measure. Okay. And it's still pretty warm, but it'll get cool with the ice that's in here. Let me make sure this is tight so this doesn't go flying everywhere. And then I'm gonna give it a good shake. So I shaked it a good 70 times. So it should be nice and foamy. And I'm just gonna take it here and pour it over the ice. Oh, that looks really, really good. You can really smell the brown sugar sauce. And then all you do is, you don't have to froth your oat milk or anything because the espresso's already frothed up. Just give it a good shake. And then you just pour the milk over it. Just like that. That looks really, really good. And then give it a stir. Now at Starbucks, I know they don't stir it any further since the espresso is already shaken, but I like to stir it just for good measure and to mix everything together. And then I'm gonna add just some ground cinnamon on top. The Starbucks does this as well. There you go. And there you have a simple, homemade brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso. Thanks for tuning in to another video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I'll see you all next time.